where we'll see which conference reigns supreme today. It's the Raiders and the Lions coming up next.
Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Detroit Lions. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, these Detroit Lions, they won over a lot of people with the way they played under Dan Campbell last year. They started 1-6, found their stride, won 8 of their last 10 games, and nearly got into the playoffs.
And when you think back to how they almost got in, that final Sunday night going to Lambeau Field and beating the Packers, that tells you about the culture that's already been established there. All you need now is to watch the team continue to play. They're going to contend, I believe, in this season.
And then for the Raiders, this is a tough team to figure out. They stumbled home to a 6-11 finish last year. But you say if they want to turn things around, it has to start on the defensive end.
It certainly does, and while they've had some dynamic pass rushers along the way, they've needed more, and they've added them now in free agency and the draft, as well as some new faces on the back end to help shut down people throwing the football.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now the former Bear, this is David Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's 2nd down.
They had 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Oh, and that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. DeAndre Carter back deep. Fielded at the 33. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense heading out with their new man under center for 2023, the former Patriot, former 49er, Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's another typical season for Jimmy G last year. When he was out there, he was excellent, leading the 49ers to 7 wins and throwing 4 times as many touchdowns as interception. Then the injury bug bit again. But Las Vegas, they're counting on him being able to do the exact same thing they saw in San Francisco, but avoiding injury while doing so.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 4. Garoppolo now. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he's got this down to the 35. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And it's complete to Adams. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards on the play.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
Jacobs again. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Raiders put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it 7-zip Vegas. That time a 6-play drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'm trying to do better here.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Off play action. Here's Goff. And that went to the right side and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
That stop made by Jack Campbell.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, You can do just about anything you want, but on the defensive side of the ball, you scramble a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They will run the draw with Jacobs. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Monday night and we're ready to rock. Time to get all the hip.
The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 14 upcoming. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursue, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Tough spot here. 3rd down and 11. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Loose inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game. And they hit that one there for big yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And they're going to get him. He's sagged back around the 28. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down. So off is Garoppolo, and in comes Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Blitz came there from the inside, and there just wasn't much resistance.
No, not at all. That means that defensively, they timed it up perfectly and matched up perfectly. They drew all the blockers to the other guys, left a free runner back to the quarterback, and you know what a free runner turns into?
What?
A free hitter.
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Gone. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Tyree Wilson using that athletic ability to make the play.
Wilson showing there that he has a chance to be an incredible pass rusher and still only scratching the surface of his potential. It's all about bringing him along right and helping him grow early in his career.
Here comes Carter. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raiders offense coming back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it? Touchdowns. Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Same target. It's Jacobs again. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the 1st down yardage before he's brought down.
It's a gain of 6. 1st down, Raiders.
To throw is Garoppolo. And his throw here's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Jack Campbell with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this 1st half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
After the interception, here's Goff. This one swung out to Montgomery. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Goff on 3rd down. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he will have a 1st down here as they get into field goal range, down just shy of the 20. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the 1st half. A 1st and 10 here, and if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. That's going to be caught. And in for the Lions touchdown. Sam Laporta, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions get a late score here, the final minute of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football. Full half to be played. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And bulldozing his way through. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And leading 10-7, they may just want to get this to the locker room. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. Could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying. Interestingly,
that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They go with Jacobs. And some space here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now Garoppolo. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Shrugs him off. And he's got room. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first, this one from 38. The kick by Carlson is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. We just watched a solid first half from the 2022 Russian champ, Josh Jacobs. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break. Final adjustments being made in both locker rooms. They are just about set to get back to football in Detroit. And for the call of the second half, we'll kick it back up to Ford Field and Brandon Gott.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to bring out the third down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. That's caught by Myers. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Let's go, baby. It's showtime, baby.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd down and 9. Here's Garoppolo to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
The key to any screenplay is all the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Garoppolo. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Carlson able to put this one through, and now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone. Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Goff. That is caught. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Just what they needed, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the third quarter from Detroit. Goff now looks to throw. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And that's incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 82 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
A nice carry by Jacobs, who's coming off a career year. Just when it seemed like Vegas may have been ready to move on from him. Led the NFL with over 1,600 yards and was more than deserving of his first All-Pro selection.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Garoppolo now. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
Defense. They ain't on our side.
Well, they were setting up the screen, CD, a lot of free runners, and they got there late, and the penalty ensued.
Yeah, somehow it didn't get into their brains that it was a screen, right? Instead of pulling off and chasing the ball downfield, they kept going towards the quarterback and knocked him down way late. That draws the penalty flag each and every time.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up the 3rd down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Back now at Ford Field. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short, because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
On play action, now Garoppolo. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Raiders have extended their lead to 15 now here in the 4th.
And that right there is the definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101? Check that box.
Garoppolo going to stay on the field with the Raider offense. They'll go for 2. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. Garoppolo looking to throw for it. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on the 2-point try. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage, just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Goff now looking to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Now a stoppage here for an injured player, and it's David Montgomery who is struggling a bit. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. Here's Goff. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And he is going to lose yardage here. And they're going to speed things up here. Back to throw, Goff. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays, nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. 2nd down, Jacobs once more. Able to power through. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. 115 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. On 2nd down, Jacobs. He gets away from one. And he's going to have a Raider 1st down. And that should be the one that finishes the script here. Once again, it's Jacobs. Taken down at the 42. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. He's got his target. That's complete. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 45-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider 1st.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go. Down to a knee goes Garoppolo, and that ought to do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that would be their last points in the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it's just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from Detroit.